In this video, I'm going to show you how to work the graphs and then just do a simple zoom in and zoom out, I guess, because it's like you're zooming, like it's just zoom in transition, I guess. So you need to know zoom out too. I'm doing this video, even though it's really simple, I'm showing my friend how to work the graph, and I think it'd be a really cool thing just to incorporate how to like just do a transition with the graph to see how the graph looks like for each one. And I'm just going to do the most basic one, which is a zoom in and a zoom out. So I already have my two clips, which is Scarlett Johansson. Oops. Okay, so what I want to do first is just let me just compose them together. My I guess command for it is just C, but it's different for all computers. If you don't really know which one, you can always do like you left click on the computer and then pre-compose, or if you can look at which shortcut you have for it, which is the same thing. So first, I'm just gonna go zoom. Like if you start a transition, you usually like zoom. I don't know what the word for it is. Like when you make it big to small. Yes, I don't know what the exact term is. And then so now I'm just gonna go to. I did this ahead of time, but I'm just gonna go to scale, which my command is S, which pops on this side. What you could do if you don't know your command is click on this arrow, go to transform, click, and this is scale. So I click the watch, so it pops up a keyframe over here, and that's at the front, and I'll move one to the end all the way down here. I like doing it at the end. Just put over here on the diamond, just click another thing, and there you have that. Now I'll go back to the beginning and make this one as big as I like, so I'm gonna do like this much. And then down here, if you see like the three circles, that's motion blur. I will click it on, so now I'll add a motion blur after I do my graph. So now I would drag over these two keyframes, and then usually my shortcut, I changed my shortcut and I made it 9. But what you could do is go like left click, keyframe is assistant, and it's easy ease. And then now it turns into an hourglass shape. And then now my graph looks like this. So what I would do now for this, I would click on it, and then I would just move it to the shape I like. So now for a graph that you want that zooms like from big to small really fast, this is typically the shape you want, where it's like a downward curve. And I would just position it like so the closer you get to that part is the faster the transition is. So usually I'll do around here, where now if you look at it, it's like this. And then I usually just play around with it until I like it. And I pretty much like it. It seems like pretty much fast. Now what I have to do now, and you see how the motion blur is in it too, you will have to pre-compose this again. So I'm just going to show you from left click, pre-compose, and you want to move all the attributes into a new composition. So click OK. And now like you just no more like those keyframes, so we can do another zoom. Now you would find the scale again, so go to here, transform, and scale. So I will click a thing here, go all the way to the end. This one I usually like to do it one part away from the end, because when you go to the end, it goes to the next video. So I would do it here, and then we would do another zoom in, I guess. And this one you can zoom in as much as you like. This one's fine for me. Remember, every single time you do transition, you have to click on the motion blur. Drag this again, and then left click on it, keyframe assistant, easy ease. And now go over here to graph, and now you see this graph. And now, usually when you want the transition to be like later on in this clip, it would be like an upward curve, like this, and then like I said, the closer you get, the closer you get, like the more, I guess, delay now your your thing is. So I would, because this is a long clip, I didn't realize how long I made it, the farther I should get it. So now it will look like this. Now it does a little chop right now. I feel like in our eyes it looks a little choppy just because it only looks a little choppy because the end doesn't have one and there's no shake, so it's like very like still. It looks very still in the middle. What I would like to do sometimes, if I have a transition that goes from a zoom, like a big too small, and I go back to big, is I would like move my graph like downward a little bit, and so now you see where it goes, like it makes it smaller a little bit and go into big. And this is a very great thing I'm showing you because I can show you how to add motion tile, which is so you don't see the black background. You just click on the sideline, go to motion tile, and you can either double click if your thing is highlighted, like the boxes, you can just double click it, or you can move it to here, and it works either way. We get on my graph though. And so what I would like to do, my settings are usually, for shakes it's just 250, for regular edits, like transitions, I do 300. And now you see how it looks very square. Now this is also, it's also acceptable, like if you want the square, but the mirror edges, now it will make it like, there's no like direct, like it's like box, I don't know how to explain that, boxes. And so now if we look at this part where we're trying to make, it's a little laggy when you're full, so I'm gonna do half. Hold on. See how now it's like it goes back to front? So it's like, it makes it big, boom. So that's what I like to do about it, but you can just keep it the normal way, which is just this. Now this is just the most plain simple, like that. I didn't have to do the first part with this part, I just want to show you that's how you do it when you start an edit. Okay, now go to our next clip. So for this one, what you do is go, oh my god, you would go to scale, and now you would just do the same thing you did, but now it's backwards, so you go from small to big. So I would move this keyframe that has 100 scale to the end. Oh my god, I'm going like way past it. And then now I would make this small. So I usually like just do small, like how small I like it. It's not really exact number. And then now you want to do motion tile. Double click it. You can drag it over. Either one choose. Your numbers don't have to be exactly mine if you don't want it to be. Or mirror edges if you don't want the box. So this is like without mirror edges, it's very boxy. With mirror edges, it's just like reflective, I guess. Now you highlight over your keyframes, and you go to keyframe assistant, and I go easy ease. Now you go into the graph, and now your graph should look like this. You just, I don't know how to explain this earlier, but you just like click on the yellow dots, and you drag it over. Remember your motion blur. And now if we look at it, ta-da. And that's how you do a zoom in and over the zoom from a big to a small, and then a zoom in. That's what's called zoom in transition. And hopefully you understand how to do the graphs like this. If you have any questions, ask me. Yeah. Hope you enjoy.